Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Didn't know if I'll be able to get on here with the terrible laggy performance of, but not unexpected performance of Microsoft Edge. But I got to use that, I got to route it through that because if I go through Google Chrome or Opera, the audio gets corrupted. And Firefox won't host Hangouts anymore because they said there's a problem with Google's plugins. So whatever, it's been going on almost a year. This morning, we have Ancient Age Preferred blended whiskey introduced in 1936, aged at least 4 years. The 20% straight whiskeys used in this blend are aged at least 4 years. And it is from Frankfort, Kentucky. Distilled from the finest grains. Corn. Now they say that at Barton, they said they're picky about the corn. I watched them unload it and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so whatever. Versus Barton Premium American Whiskey, a blend introduced in 1949. The 20% straight whiskeys in this blend are also aged a minimum of 4 years. Now this one is not only produced in Kentucky, it is also produced in Los Angeles, California, because it's one of the old Barton brands that was acquired by Sazerac company, who also bought the Ancient Age brands when they bought the Shinley, which they renamed Buffalo Trace. I think it was Shinley. Was it a different name? Whatever, some peculiar family name that they didn't think sounded so great, so they renamed it Buffalo Trace in 1992. So, but Barton had distilleries around the country, so they kept those. I think actually the grain neutral spirits used in these come from Midwest Grain Products. But I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure because they were telling me at Barton that all their gin comes in across the river from Indiana. And if you look at Midwest Grain Products, they have like 8 different gin levels you can buy in bulk, you know, if you're a manufacturer, like a first grade, second grade, third grade, whatever, depending on what price point you want to sell it. And it's already pre-packed, you know, it's pre-done, it's pre-packaged. So you can just buy it and then you can upgrade it however you want it. And they sell a lot of that. And they also have different bourbons, rye whiskeys, everything that you can just buy. And then you can handcraft it according to your specifications and sell it in an expensive bottle. Regardless, the actual whiskey is coming from Sazerac. What are they using in it? I don't really know. Maybe Barton is using Barton whiskey. Straight Kentucky whiskey, that would make sense, wouldn't it? And Ancient Age is probably using Ancient Age bourbon that's aged an extra year to give it some more depth so it could compete with or shine through the grain neutral spirits. This I don't know, but I know Ancient Age 80 proof is aged 3 years. The Ancient Age 10 star is aged 6 years. The 90 proof Ancient Age, which they don't even list on the website, I'm not sure about that. So I don't know. All I know is that if you look on the Sazerac website, they show 1 Ancient Age variety. If you look on the Buffalo Trace website, they show 2, the 80 proof and the 90, not the 90 proof, the 80 proof and the 10 star aged 6 years. But there's actually 4, at least 4, there may be more. Barton, same old story. There's a whole bunch. All right, but anyway, enough of that. This one is much darker, and this one is much paler. I mean, you might be able to see that. I mean, this is yellow, and that is deep gold, nearly copper. Okay, I mean, if you are under the impression that they're the same thing with different labels, get that impression out of your mind, because they are yeah, they have alcohol eggs and they're clear, but they are not anywhere near the same shade. It's really kind of amazing. I think the lighter one must be the Ancient Age, because my recollection was that Barton was darker. Let me check. No. Nope. Ancient Age is darker. Okay. I'm gonna have to make sure I don't glance down there, because it'll be a sure tip off. Now, which one's going to be better? I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience with the Ancient Age. As you can see, the bottle's nearly full. The Barton I have a little more experience with, but not a great amount. Will I be able to tell them apart? I was able to tell Barton apart from Carstairs, right? But when I put it up against the Club 400, I got them confused. The Barton had more rye notes than I expected, so I was not correct. This one is a little, you know, if you want to say scary, like I'm scared, you know, oh wow, I failed the taste challenge. Some people stress out about it though, like they get really freaked out and angry. You know, if you watch beer reviews and read comments, or wine or whiskey or liquor, I mean, or especially beer, you know, so some people are really uptight. They get really enraged. They get very enraged. Mostly they'll get enraged about a failure I'll make. Maybe not enraged. They'll ridicule it. They'll get enraged about comments I make about beer, like this is a life or death thing, you know. But other commentators say, well, where's your taste challenges? Oh, well, how dare you ask me a question like that? Well, it's a legitimate question. You out there, the world's consummate commenter, where's your product? Where's your production? Oh, well, of course, you don't have any. Jacob Miller says, good morning, Jay. Good morning, Jacob. John and Neely. Good morning, Ron. Good morning, John and Neely. Jacob, go get your bottle. Join me now. I don't encourage that. Now, some people say, why you do it so early? You must have a problem. I do have a problem, and that's that I have things to do during the day. And if I do it later, it's irritating, because I got to, you know, this way it's done. It's over with. Now, I do have to double up today for scheduling reasons. So at around 3 o'clock, I'll do another one, you know, but it's not. And then this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, guess how many I'll do? None. Guess how much whiskey I'll drink this weekend? None. Zero, zip, nada, nothing. So, but I mean, you just can't convince some people. They're going to say, he's just covered. He drinks all day. Okay, whatever. I can't control what people believe. Beer is supposed to bring people together. You would think so, Jacob, but and actually, as you know, beer is a neutral object, right? So it's neither good nor bad. It's just an object. But it's hard to bring people together when you got people that don't want to be together, right? Want to make trouble, be antagonistic, can't forgive, never, you know, can never get past any slight, whether real or perceived, any insult, whether real or perceived, and harbor anger, resentment. Don't know the meaning of the word forgiveness. So I've noticed that the worst in the beer world, beer reviewing world. Wine, I'm not sure, because I'm only on the periphery of that, as you notice. Liquor, whiskey, I don't see the factionalism or the contention and all that. It may exist. I haven't noticed it. Most of the interaction I've had with the whiskey reviewers is either they ignore you because they've got 50,000 subscribers and they'll be the first to tell you that, and they don't have time to interact with the lower people, or they're very pleasant, you know. Outstanding Cruise. Those other people should just be ignored, Jay. Yeah, it's best to. It's easier said than done. And good morning. Good morning to you. Okay. Let's go. I'm trying so hard not to. I don't want to sit there with my eyes closed, but I'm trying not to look, because I know if I see it, I'm going to know. Okay. You know, these blended whiskeys, they're very mild. They're mild. Oh my goodness, the sticker came off. I guess the tape didn't tape as good as I had thought. Okay, well, this is going to be a challenge. I got to tape it back without looking. Can I do it? I think I can do it. I better go this way with it. Okay. Sorry about that little technical issue, people. What in the world is the deal? Okay, well, we'll just lay that to the side because the other one has a tag and it's going to have a name. So whatever name it has, the other one isn't going to have it, right? Okay, common sense. But even just glancing at that tag can throw you off if one doesn't have a tag. So I got to be very careful. These taste challenges are no joke. I've tried several with whiskey, and I must admit I'm usually wrong. Right? It's no joke, but people will act like, oh yeah, any fool could tell these apart, and they're very haughty about it. Well, you tell them apart. Wow, I don't have time for that. I have a very important job. Okay. Same thing with beer, you know, oh, anybody. Now, Dr. Dave was smart about it because he said, you can't tell that stuff apart. Those macro lagers are all the same. And I got offended. I was like, you're wrong. And then I did a bunch of tape challenges and I couldn't tell them apart to a large extent. And I was like, you're right. Now, I didn't agree with his assessment that they were all garbage, you know. But I think he said it just to irritate me because he even did videos where he admitted they weren't bad. You know, if you watch Dr. Dave's video about Budweiser, he says, well, I wouldn't really drink it. Normally, it's not my kind of drink. But he admitted that it wasn't bad and that it actually had quality. And he said he could see why people drank it. And I was like, see, now that's a fair assessment. You get these goofy videos, you know, where the people are they're not reviewing it. Okay. The whole purpose of the video is not to review Budweiser. It's to get cheap laughs. Okay. I mean, you could see that instantly that the video is not a review. I call that a slam video. And these kind of blended whiskeys they won't bring as much hatred upon them because they're so obscure or below people's notice that there isn't really any attention given. They're not a #1 brand in the world product, you see. But then something like, okay, let's say Seagram 7. Well, that's a very prominent whiskey brand for decades. So you will get some of that, you know, oh, that's junk. And they'll say, no one drinks that. No one drinks it. Okay. That's why the stores are packed with it, because no one drinks it. You see, that's how you can tell no one drinks it, because there's just dozens of bottles at every store and it sells like crazy because no one drinks it. And then you get the clickbait articles, you know, why no one drinks Budweiser anymore. This is a good point. Aside from the 14 million barrels a year in the United States alone, no one drinks Budweiser, you see. Then people click the article, and then the article's very short. It has no sources linked, and it's ridiculous. All right, enough rant and rave with Ronald. The blended whiskeys are especially difficult to tell apart. Most blended whiskeys are just so mild, right? But they are different. That's the thing. They're so subtle, but they're different. Okay. There's caramel, wood, dried flowers. You know what I'm going to say. The candied fruitcake fruit. The mild, like say bourbon aroma, because you know that's what they're using in this. They're using bourbon. I mean, because that's what Sazerac makes. Okay. They don't really make a early times, you know what I mean? Which is a bourbon that's not a bourbon because it's not aged in new barrels. They don't really make anything like that. Sazerac makes bourbon and they make blended whiskey, and that is it. So you know they're not making some specially concocted whiskey just for this, for all their blended brands. You know they're not doing that. Okay, but regardless, it's fine. The aroma for both of these is very similar. I don't know though. This one might be more rye, but more sweet. I don't know. Okay. Actually, this one has more peppery notes. But the whole point I'm trying to make with all the rant and raving, which actually some people get furious about, you know. The whole point I'm making is that people will say they have no flavor and no aroma. They're just filler for making mixed drinks. Not true. Are they used mostly for making mixed drinks? Yes. Are they flavorless, odorless, and have no character? No. It's like Rockdale Light or Rockdale, no, supposedly there's a Rockdale Ice beer, the Walmart. It's not flavorless, odorless, and characterless. It has flavor. It has aroma. It's just bad flavor and aroma. So it has character. It's just a mean, bad, and very unpleasant character. But you can't say that about these. I haven't had one yet that was unpleasant or unpalatable or bad or seemed to be low quality. They're just mild. And that might be a good thing in my opinion. Well, that is a good thing in my opinion because I prefer the mild. You heard it here. You heard it here. I prefer the mild. Now the taste challenge. You know, some people prefer mild sauce and some prefer the Diablo sauce. That doesn't make one person bad and one person good or vice versa. It's just preferences. There is room for preferences in the world of whiskey, wine, and beer. Now, some people don't believe that. They don't believe in the idea of preferences. It's, I only like certain types of beer and you must like them or you're not a beer connoisseur and you have no right, essentially, to enjoy it. Rockdale Ice. I'll be on the lookout for that. Same here. Ham's Ice. Oh, yeah, Jacob. He found the only Ham's Ice on the market. Anyone that says that no one drinks Budweiser or Seagram's obviously has no credibility. It's comical, really. But they say it. We've seen them. Or they'd rather drink urine than Budweiser. Okay. Or they'd rather drink water. Now, okay. Now, all right. If you'd rather drink water, fine. But these are people that drink all the time making these comments. You know what I mean? If they go to a party, they're going to drink. Not 2 beers either. You know what I'm talking about. You know they're going to drink beer. A lot of it. And there ain't no way they're going to drink water over Budweiser if Budweiser is the only thing available. You know that. Now, they'll complain the whole time, and then they'll go to each guest at the party and point out to them that Budweiser is terrible and then want to lecture them on why that is the case. Not really bringing life and fun to the party. They'll even lecture the host on why the free beer they're offering is trash. You know what I mean? You know the type of people? It's like if you had Barton whiskey at your house and somebody came over and they're watching the game. What you got to drink? I got Barton whiskey. Oh, they go on and on about how bad. I mean, they drink it, obviously. They just go on and on about how bad it was. But then you'd notice that they weren't exactly running to the store to buy Jack Daniel's Black Label or Evan Williams, but whatever, some better, so-called better product. You know what I mean? All right. Can I tell these apart? Oh, it's going to be like totally impossible, really. If I guess it right, it's going to be probably dumb luck. Okay, so it's like wood. I mean, there's definite wood. You're picking up the wood. So for somebody to say that blended whiskey is simply whiskey flavored vodka is totally wrong, okay? I mean, it's mostly wrong. I guess it's not totally wrong, but it's not whiskey flavored. It's not whiskey flavoring. It's actual whiskey. 20% of this, 1/5 of this is straight whiskey, okay? Straight bourbon whiskey, more than likely. It has flavor, not a lot. It's like if you made hot tea and you didn't put a lot of tea in it, or if you did the tea bag twice, you know, it would be bland. The second run would be bland. Some people like that. That's why Canadian Mist is so popular. That's about the blandest thing I ever tried, man. Golly gee. But it sells like crazy. Not like it used to sell, but it's still a big seller. These are, you know, bland if you want to use that term. But bad? No. They're not bad. It really must be the finest grain neutral spirits or grains because it's got a nice pleasant flavor. Now, Are they distinctive, distinguishable? I don't know about all that. All right, but I'll say this much. This one over here has more wood flavor. Now they got wood flavor. I don't, you can get mad, upset, say I'm stupid. But it's funny, some people will watch my videos incessantly. Like, I don't watch them, but I watch the playback, after I record it. I don't sit there and watch them all. And then they'll just say, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. They've been doing this for years now, okay? Years, literally years, watching my videos and telling me how stupid I am and that they're not worth watching. Well, why are you watching then? I mean, am I that magnetic? I mean, I'm running a cult and I don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, imagine that you could be a cult leader and not realize it. It's bizarre. Okay. This one over here is not nearly as woody. Okay. That one there is not nearly as Woody Harrelson as this other one. This one over here has clearly more wood character, presentation, whatever you want to call it. More rye, more flavor. I don't know about the flavor, but it's probably more pronounced. You're going to pay more for the, well, you can't get it in Louisiana, so I really can't talk about price because I don't know what, you can't find Barton in Louisiana. Well, I used to say that about McCormick. You can't find McCormick in Louisiana. Lo and behold, there I see it on the shelf. McCormick straight, I'm sorry, they do make that, but McCormick blended whiskey. I said, golly. But they're probably about the same price, around, on average, probably $7 a bottle. The Ancient Age was $8.99. Now, I can get it a lot cheaper per ounce at Winn-Dixie right there. It's everywhere now. Ancient Age Preferred was nowhere. Then a year and a half ago, I started to see it. Now every store has it. I was like, well, most every store. I'm like, what's going on around here? I think the Barton doesn't have as much flavor, though. And I think the Ancient Age Preferred is a little better. So let's give the vote to Ancient Age. I think Ancient Age is a little better. It's going to cost a little more. Would I pay the extra price? Would I pay the extra price? I might, if it wasn't much extra. You see what I'm saying? If it was a dollar more, yeah, I might do it. But no more than that. I mean, because the trade-off isn't worth it. I can't wait to try this against Heaven Hill, though. The Barton against Heaven Hill, because the Barton's kind of dull. Not bad, but kind of dull, And then the Barton Kentucky whiskey, the blend, is kind of like that. And, and talking about people never drink dull products, come to Louisiana and go to any liquor store and find out if people don't drink dull products. Everybody sells Heaven Hill, Kentucky whiskey, a blend. I'm telling you, it is ubiquitous. You know what that word means? That means everywhere. Ancient Age, it's becoming that way. But you can't imagine how this Heaven Hill is so, but it's only $6.19 at some stores. And you get the jug bottle, it's even cheaper. So I think this is Barton. I'm going to feel foolish if I get it wrong. That'll totally invalidate my point. Then you would only shop price. Kyle. Oh, Kyle. I haven't heard most of these whiskeys. Heard of these whiskeys. Maybe they just don't sell them up here south of Chicago. I bet you they sell them, but you just never noticed them. Because when you go to the liquor store, you got to look down, down to the bottom shelf. Then you say, oh, there they are. I never noticed. I know, because you were looking up, or straight ahead. I have a hard time picking up on rye character in some of these blended whiskeys, says John. I guess my palate has been blinded by the old Granddad and Redemption High Rye. That could be the case, but remember I did Redemption High Rye, and I didn't find it was... I was putting it up against Ancient Age and dang Barton and stuff like that, and I couldn't couldn't differentiate the rye. So I don't know about that redemption. I didn't find where it had much more depth of flavor than these two things I'm drinking right now. What do you expect? This aged 1 year. Think about it. What's bourbon? It's like almost all corn whiskey, right? It's aged at least, well, actually, bourbon doesn't have to be aged anytime. It could be aged a day, but of course, it would have no color. And you can't add color in, so they got to go about a year, get some color in it. I was looking at that redemption on the counter yesterday afternoon, and I said, look how pale that stuff is. It is so pale. I know they use alligator char, you know, the thickest char you can get in a barrel, and it's thick. It's probably that thick. But still, after 1 year, it just doesn't get a lot of color in it. So I don't know. You say, well, that stuff you're drinking is 80% grain neutral spirits. Yeah, what's it made out of? Oh, yeah, corn. That's what they're using. You know they're using corn. But they don't age it. That's the difference. They mix it with aged whiskey, aged 4 years in this case. They blend it. Oh, I'm sorry, they don't mix it. They blend it. Or if you go to Jack Daniels, don't even say the word blend. You'll get jumped, verbally jumped. They mingle it. That was so funny last year. The guy got like irate because I said, so Jack Daniels is basically just blended whiskey. Oh, no. It's not blended. You want to blend something, go to the store and buy a blender. He said, we mingle it. I said, well, what does that mean? Well, we just put it all together and do like this. I said, oh, well. They don't filter their whiskey through charcoal. What do? They there's a term they use, but it means filtered. You know what I mean? Like they don't filter their whiskey through charcoal. They oh, it's matured. See what I mean? That marketing stuff is so funny. Man, that is so woody and rye. Like, I gotta say, both of these are really good. I mean, they're really good. So you're saying, can you get a really good blended whiskey for about $8, $7, or even less? Like that Barton was $6.35 after tax. Yeah. I just sipped it down. You saw that last sip, how I was just like relishing it. Yes, you can. Now you might say, well, I drank Elijah Craig barrel proof, and it was way stronger than those two. Well, yeah, because you drank Elijah Craig barrel proof, and these are not that. All right, so I think this is the ancient age, but let's check. Oh, the tag fell off. So, well, this is going to reveal it. Ah, man, I'm such an expert. It's just amazing. It is really amazing to be so profoundly good at this. If you factor out all the failures I've had, if you factor out all those failures, I'm an expert, a great, profound, and tremendous expert. Okay, that's Barton, and that's ancient age. But I mean, I do feel okay because I talked about the character, and I always had said that the ancient age had more depth of flavor, more charcoal, and more rye. Now, I said that, and you go watch my other videos, and that will back that up, okay? I did it. Now, what's later today? Oh. Well, it could get a little scary because I've got Heaven Hill, Seagram 7. Now, you want to pay $12 for Seagram 7, go ahead and pay it. But now, if Seagram 7 is getting busted up by these other ones, then that'll teach you a lesson right there. Oh, one more thing. I got to get off of this. Diageo is running all those 2 for $3 You know what I mean? Those specials right now. I see tags everywhere. Buy one, get $3 off. Now, that's a great deal. You buy one bottle of Seagram 7 is what, $12? You're going to get it for $9. Now, that's a deal. You buy 2 bottles of, it doesn't matter. You can mix and match any Diageo brand. You get $7 off. And it keeps going up and up. John, Anila, you know, you can vouch for me. You mail in the little coupon. You got to mail it. You can't do it on the internet because they're hoping people will buy it and then forget to mail it in. You see, that's what people do. They get distracted and it never gets mailed. You fill out your little card, you highlight or circle it with a pen, the coupon. You pay your little 41-cent stamp, whatever stamps cost. It's not expensive. You mail it in, and it doesn't take 4 to 6 weeks. They say allow 4 to 6 weeks. Man, it's like 3 weeks. You get your check. He says, yeah, John says, yeah, maybe the redemption wasn't a great example. It's a good example. But the straight bourbon whiskeys with high rye mash bills are much easier to differentiate, in my opinion, because they are so much bolder than most whiskeys. Straight bourbon whiskeys with high rye mash. Oh, yeah, like Ancient Age. Think about Ancient Age. You can get it for $9.99 a bottle. It's a 3-year age straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey. It's got a high rye mash bill, and that thing has great flavor. What a cheap product and what a fantastic flavor. That may be the best. I know I'm talking loud. Well, I drank 2. I don't know. All right, but that might be the best value on the market for bourbon. Honestly, it really might be. Outstanding Crew says, Jay, have you tried Rich and Rare? Oh, no, but I have a bottle of Rich and Rare in the cabinet, unopened. And I have a bottle of Rich and Rare Reserve, 2 bottles, a little mini bottle and a regular credible bottle of Rich and Rare Reserve in the cabinet. 2 bottles. John and Neil A said, that's good stuff. OC is so smooth. It's yeah, those are ready to launch. Ready to launch, sir. OC says, I agree. It's a smooth drink, John. Hey, I'm about to get off this. Y'all want to see something real fast? Because I got to get this day going because I have grass to cut and other things to do, really. Clothes to fold. I mean, I gotta get rolling. All right. I gotta go to a Knights of Columbus meeting. Yeah, I have to go because I'm the recorder. They said, we're gonna let you be the recorder. I said, oh, what an honor. But then I realized they ain't letting you be the recorder. They're putting that on. That's the job nobody wants at the Knights of Columbus. Nobody wants to be the scribe or the recorder because you got to write everything down at the meeting, and they're all talking fast, like bam, 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 and you're expected to write it all down. And you're like, what, and you got to repeat it, and you got to write. And they're getting, why you got to keep asking me? Well, you're talking real fast. All right, hold on a second. And remember, it's the Knights of Columbus, so they all drink alcohol. I think it's a law, or it could be a rule or a law. You have to, I'm just kidding. You have to drink alcohol to be a member of the Knights. I'm just joking. But there's Father Pat with his Jameson. You know, he's actually from Ireland. He's going to drink Jameson. They're all drinking. They're mixed drinks. What are you drinking? They ask me, what are you drinking? I'm drinking water. You know, I'm at the meeting. I'm drinking water. I have to write all this down. I can't get up and go to the bathroom. Outstanding Cruise. I appreciate the great channel as always, and cheers, Jay. Looking forward to that Rich and Rare video. Thank you. I really do appreciate your support. Here's one I bought in Baton Rouge. It's a pretty bottle, but I had to wash it. It was kind of raggedy when I bought it. Rich, look at this, Kentucky Gold. I did find out that this copyright, the copyright for this was acquired in 1992. So that the trademark. So this is from 92, not this bottle, but you know the brand. Kentucky Gold. There's a barrel, and look, they got the whiskey dripping out of it. Like they opened the bong, and the whiskey's dripping. It's a blended whiskey, you know, but blended and bottled by Quality Control. How you like that name? Quality Control Distilling Company. Quality Control Distilling Company. I'm not familiar with that company. Bardstown, Nelson County, Kentucky. Bardstown. Wait a minute. Now you look on the back. A distinctive blend. The character and taste a connoisseur desires and expects. Now you see, they're saying in this bottle is the character and taste a connoisseur desires and expects. Choice. This is not just blended whiskey, people. This is choice blended whiskey. And it's aged 36 months. And that crest, you see, that's the tip off. You see that little crest? That's the Heaven Hill crest. Oh, you know, I can't wait to open this bottle. You know, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Like Stevie Nicks saying, I can't wait. I can't wait. All right. But actually, I have to wait. All right. Anyway, so I got it right today, but what will happen later today? Time will tell. Now I have to upload a beer video. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video production, and have a wonderful Thursday, February 22nd, 2018.